William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
Our next public speaker is Mr. Richard Sheridan.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Excuse me, I have a handout. I'm here to speak about the Dallas County's, I asked, what is Dallas County's West Dallas RSR Smelters Superfund responsibilities? I believe there is certainly a responsibility there. For nearly 20 years, our town crier, William Hopkins, has been going to City Hall and coming to Commissioner's Court to say people are dying in West Dallas. Mr. Hopkins has not been alone in this work, and I've attached a list of 16 other speakers, and there's probably many more than 16 speakers who have come here and have gone to City Hall. So it's not just one person crying in the wilderness. And there's no way I can communicate in 3 minutes all of the details of the biggest case of environmental racism in Dallas history. I believe that Louis Sepulveda coined that phrase. Therefore, I've attached a speech I gave to this court in July 2014. There's no question in my mind. I have a master's degree in environmental engineering, and I was a project manager of a PCB site investigation and cleanup in San Francisco in the early 80s. That Mr. Hopkins is right, and that many, many people are still dying from the lead spewed in the air in West Dallas for over 50 years. And by the way, there's a picture there of a young Hispanic boy, and it doesn't matter whether he's Hispanic or that black or white. The soils in West Dallas are still contaminated. 1/3 of the soils are still contaminated with high unacceptable levels of lead, and as that picture indicates, the caption, that boy has unacceptable levels of lead in his blood. So it is still ongoing. We have children out there playing in soils with unacceptable levels of lead. And if the EPA is not going to do something about it, then certainly Dallas County, Parkland, the health department has a responsibility to go and investigate. So EPA has abandoned its responsibility in addressing the public aspects. Then what does Dallas County, what responsibility does it have? It, again, has a responsibility. I put here a 4-step process. If the county confirms that the ongoing sicknesses are from lead poisoning, then the county contacts the EPA and demands that they do something. If EPA refused, then you can conduct an epidemiological study, and that would include a mortality rate, and I think you'll find, I found, that it's 2.5 times what it normally would be at 20 instead of 8. And then once it's found that it does have an unusually high level, then we can go into determining the lead in the bone. If it goes in the blood, after 2 months it's gone. Then the last step would be to treat. There's a treatment process called chelation therapy. So who's going to pay for it? Certainly the EPA is responsible to pay for whatever costs to help cure those that are dying from the lead poisoning. And I will certainly send a letter to the Attorney General of the state of Texas, and perhaps even to the Attorney General of the United States of America on this, because it's a very serious issue, and it's a very hot political issue. I understand that, but something needs to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Richard Sheridan, 14-year political activist in Dallas, Texas. One of the issues that I've been focusing on over the last 14 years has to do with the Superfund site in West Dallas. For over 50 years, there was a lead smelter that spewed out poison lead into the community in West Dallas. That ended in the early 80s. Well, just because they stopped putting the lead in the stack doesn't mean that it doesn't have any later effect. Lead will go into the bone and it'll stay in the bone, and then as you get older it'll come out of the bone and cause all kinds of problems, neurological problems, and even cancer. So William Hopkins has been coming to Commissioner's Court and City Council for almost 20 years, 15 to 20 years. He's been the town crier. But he's not been alone. I've been doing it for about 7 years, but there's been 16 to 20 people that have come to City Council as well as to the Commissioner's Court. And what is the issue? Well, the EPA has focused primarily on cleaning up the soils as opposed to addressing the public health aspects. Otis Fagan, who has been involved with this for a number of years, claims that 11,000 people have died in West Dallas from cancer, and about 15,000 are still sick, are now sick and dying. So why is it being ignored? Because according to Louis Sepulveda, it's one of the biggest cases of environmental racism in Texas, at least Dallas history, and maybe even in Texas history. The Dallas Morning News published an article back in December of 2012, which documented the fact that 1/3 of the soils in West Dallas are still contaminated with unacceptable levels of lead. And in that article, this is a picture of a young Hispanic boy who has unacceptable levels of lead. So we have a situation where 1/3 of the soils in West Dallas have unacceptable levels of lead, and you have children playing in those soils, and it doesn't matter what race, Hispanic, white, or black. And that is unbelievable. Why is this going on? Well, again, racism. Dallas is a very racist city, and one of the consequences of racism is ignoring what I would call genocide in West Dallas. And another example is the homeless situation. 60% of the homeless are basically black, including Hispanic. 70% are black and Hispanic. So what's the solution? The solution is that Dallas County may not have a legal, but they have certainly a moral responsibility to pick up where the EPA left off, and basically, number one, confirm the fact that there is a problem out there, maybe demand that the EPA do something about it. They probably won't. Then do their own investigation, do a study, determine what the mortality rate out in West Dallas is, and the mortality rate, based on my calculations, about 2.5 times what it normally would be. Instead of 8 per 1,000, it's about 20 per 1,000. And then once that's confirmed, then you do a testing of the bone, because it's going to be in the bone. And the higher the level in the bone, the more you're going to have neurological problems and cancer. And then finally, the treatment. The treatment involves chelation therapy, where you either put a man-made chemical or like a natural remedy into the blood, and it basically takes it out the bone, takes it out of the system. So I pleaded with the county to do the right thing, and I'm going to basically concurrently contact the Attorney General of the state of Texas, hopefully hear from them. If not, we'll take it to the Attorney General of the United States of America. So appreciate it, and thank you very much.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.